So we've known for a very long time in Dragon Ball that fortune teller Baba has a link between the world of the living and the world of the dead. She is the caretaker of the dead, so to speak, as far as granting them the opportunity to come to the living world after they've already passed away for a time period of 24 hours. We see this now 3 times in the series. Once with Goku, once with Vegeta, and finally with Frieza in Dragon Ball Super episodes 93, 94, and so on. Now, it's heavily implied that Baba cannot do this without the permission of Enmadayo, otherwise known as Great King Yema, who is the true gatekeeper and the judge of the other world. But is Baba's palace the only link that we've ever seen between the world of the living and the world of the dead? Well, if we go back to 1989 and the final episodes of Dragon Ball, we find out that this concept has been visited before. Let's talk about it on this Quickie.
This is Lord Beerus, and unless you want your planet destroyed, subscribe to Geekdom 101. It's even better than pudding.
Now, before we get into this awesome piece of Dragon Ball lore, talking about the Mountain of 5 Elements and the Furnace of 8 Divinations, I must first tell you that this piece of Dragon Ball lore exists only in the anime. It is not in the manga, and is primarily the main focus of the final 5 episodes of the original Dragon Ball series, commonly referred to as the Wedding Dress Arc or Wedding Dress Saga. So in order to stop the fire from Ox King's palace, Goku and Chi-Chi have to venture into a place that very few mortals have ever visited, in hopes of putting out the fire. Now, if you want to revisit this arc, check out original Dragon Ball episodes 149 to 153. Now, to gain access into the Furnace of 8 Divinations, one must go through a location called Gogyoyama, otherwise known as the Mountain of 5 Elements, which is actually on the opposite side of the earth of the location of Ox King's castle. Now, once you enter this door of the furnace, you're going to have a long and very thin passageway surrounded by these spikes. You know, on a side note, when I watched these episodes again recently, I was wondering why in the world Goku would be afraid of spikes. He knows how to fly. I mean, I don't remember them ever saying in the episode that he could not fly, and he at least knows how to jump high. Whatever. So once you go past the spikes and you overcome the illusions of this weird location, you will eventually arrive at the Furnace of 8 Divinations, and of course its guardian, Annin. Now, interestingly enough, in these episodes we also see Grandpa Gohan down there, and he goes there and he explains that you can sometimes visit your deceased relatives in that location, but the only other time we see Grandpa Gohan in Dragon Ball in the world of the living is when Baba brings him in. So that again adds to the connection between Baba's palace and this furnace. They have to be connected somehow. If you go by the anime, like I said, the manga does not even mention this place. In fact, the first time we ever get a true view of the other world is in the very early portion of the Z episodes, or the Z chapters, after Goku died in his battle with Raditz and first met King Yema in the other world. Now, Annin, who as far as we know is some sort of demigod, she just has like a job, kind of like what King Yema does. We're not really sure where she ranks in the god hierarchy, but her job is to watch over the Hake Furnace. Now, the Hake Furnace is a huge furnace at the summit of this place, run by Annin, and the steam of the pot covering the Hake Furnace serves as a gateway to link the living world to the world of the beyond, otherwise known as the world of the dead, and the Bansho fan is the artifact that is used to stir and control the fire inside the Hake Furnace. Now, in my opinion, all this stuff sounds like really, really cool lore, and stuff that I think it's fascinating, but it's not in the manga at all. It's only in the anime, so figuring out how it fits with the rest of the series can be a little bit challenging. However, what I find very interesting is that even though we're not exactly sure if Toriyama had any input in these episodes, we do know beyond a shadow of a doubt that he designed the fire-eating bird featured in Dragon Ball episode 150, which is during this arc. So perhaps he helped contribute this. Not to mention that the character of Annin takes a lot of inspiration from the character Taishang Laojun from Journey to the West. And even though we know for a fact that Toriyama was greatly inspired by Journey to the West when he wrote Dragon Ball, Journey to the West is so culturally iconic in Japan that it doesn't necessarily have to be Toriyama who was inspired. Toei staffers and writers could have been as well. Specifically speaking, Takao Koyama, who wrote the scripts for the majority of these episodes. Now, these last 5 episodes of Dragon Ball was the last time we ever heard about the Furnace or about Annin. We never saw them ever again. But to be honest, I don't see anything that really contradicts the main manga or the story too much. It seems like Annin and the Furnace are simply alternate ways of linking the world of the dead and the world of the living. Now, don't get confused. The world of the dead is not the demon realm. I have another video explaining the different realms of Dragon Ball, which I think is a good companion piece to this one. So if you have not seen that video, I will link to it at the end of this video so you can check out a more thorough explanation on that. So with that being said, I will bring this video to a close. Thank you for watching as always, and check out these videos as well. And I always am grateful for your support of the channel.